Economic development and environmental protection are often cast as opposing forces in the world economy. But the message from the biennial summit of the United Nations Industrial Development Organization in Vienna was that the two are closely tied. Delegates called for urgent changes in the way aid is allocated and global trade is managed.
The 172 UNIDO member states gathered to examine three priorities for economic development: poverty reduction, trade capacity building, and access to sustainable energy. The most important is eradicating extreme poverty, the first of the 8 Millennium Development Goals. It's a complicated problem that requires a multifaceted approach.
Moving out of poverty should not only be a slogan. In reality, it is a major challenge involving cultural, institutional, social, technological, and economic change.
That challenge is not an abstraction to many of the countries represented. Sierra Leone's newly elected president issued a plea for a faster response from the international community to his country's urgent needs.
We are in an emergency. It is time for us to cut down the bureaucracy and move forward. Sustainable poverty reduction cannot be achieved with the expression of international solidarity alone. It also requires wealth creation and the development of domestic productive capacities such that productive employment opportunities expand.
That sense of urgency was shared by Pascal Lamy, Director General of the World Trade Organization. He said the global trading system is biased against developing nations, and until that imbalance is corrected through successful completion of the Doha round, economic development will be constrained.
Please ask your negotiators in Geneva to redouble their efforts and to build on the good progress that was achieved in recent weeks. Given what's on the table and given the huge importance of rebalancing these rules for developing countries, failure to conclude successfully would definitely mean a missed opportunity.
Representatives here of international institutions, governments, civil society, and business are responding to those urgent calls, expanding competitive industrial capacity through training, technology, and investment.
UNIDO works in partnership with the public and private sector, developing business clusters that empower small and medium-sized businesses, as well as joint initiatives with corporations like Microsoft that apply global expertise to expand local capacity.
It is important precisely for two reasons. UNIDO is in the public sector. It can create some conditions that we in the private sector cannot create in the areas of policy, in the areas of building some type of relationship with decision makers in countries. And we in the private sector, we are in fact the engine for any kind of growth in the economic sector. And this is why, this partnership is very important.
On the trade front, the International Trade Center is tasked with helping producers find their markets.
And you can see exports moving, non-traditional exports moving, even regional trade expanding. So I think these are the stepping stones to success.
Another hot topic was global warming. Environmentally sustainable growth and the challenge represented by climate change present developing countries with unique opportunities to transform their societies.
Climate change is not only a challenge, it is in fact, if you look at it globally, the greatest opportunity for us to, on a global level, within a global policy framework, to drive a different kind of development process and technology move over the next few decades.
Work to promote that drive includes helping the Chinese government to clean up its persistent organic pollutants and collaboration in Turkey on a hydrogen energy research facility which could lead to wide-scale commercial clean energy in the next decade.